Greetings and salutations, Focus Up family. Welcome to the July 26, 2025 installment of the Focus Up Show. We thank you for tuning in with us live every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on YouTube and various other platforms, or catching up with us on replay. And we ask that you click that like, that subscribe, that bell, and share to support and maintain your weekly Focus Up fix. I am Mr. Nice Guy, nice as in the word saint spelled backwards. And today I got Brother Walk, host of Sex Talk with Walk, Thursday at 9 p.m. We got Brother Afro Agnostic, star of Afro Agnostics and various other shows. But go check out the Afro Agnostics clips. We got Student X, star of Mutant Politics, and these are very political times, so you know what's up. And then we got infamous El Pooh, star of Spin That Back, and we are going to have a Spin That Back today. What we're going to be talking about today, brother?
Yes, sir. We're going to be talking about K Solo today.
That's what's up. Now we're missing First Lady J today. She's taking care of some business. Hopefully she'll be back next week. We got Mr. Floyd X in the ether, but I would like to take a moment to introduce somebody. Matter of fact, I'll let Brother Walk do the favors. We have someone that we'd like to introduce to y'all. Go ahead, Brother Walk.
Slow down, young man. Slow down.
All right. Anyways, let me take it over. Ayana,
hold up, brother. Chill out. Relax, my name, for real. Relax. Can I do the show?
Hurry up. Get to it.
For what? Why you rushing? Relax. Yo, I had a great weekend. Anyway, I'm just waking up. But listen, I was at a talent show. I was at a nice little show. Y'all doing too much, bro. I was at a fashion show and I seen this young lady come out. She performed. She's underage, so no flirting, Mr. Nice Guy. Yeah, I used that joke again. So, and she came out, she performed, she did a hell of a job. I was like, she got to come on a Focus Up show. Young talent. She's 17 years old. She did her thing. She did a song called Did It Again, and she performed another song. I forgot the song, but I filmed it. It was great. I hollered at the guys to bring on the show. She's a young talent. Her name is Ayana's Love. Come on the show, baby girl. We got to talk.
Hello. I'm so glad to be on the show.
Indeed, I'm glad you made it on. We had a little hang-ups this week trying to get you on, but we made it. We here. Girl, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, my name is Ayanis. I'm originally born and raised in St. Louis, Missouri, but I moved to California at the age of 10 or 11 to pursue my career in acting, singing, dancing, rapping, everything that I do now. I make my own music. I recently just dropped my music video from my single, Did It Again. And yeah, ever since then, I've just been doing my thing, working.
I checked out the video and I was reading your bio. I seen you did a few commercials as well before.
I've done Nike, Microsoft. I've been on Nickelodeon for this reality fun show. I've done different short films, reality TV shows, stuff like that. Nothing big yet, but we on the way.
That's what it is. You got to keep in pursuit of that dream. Now that the single, I see you was which is your top single. You got like a lot of songs. I went through your catalog last night, but of course the biggest one is that Did It Again.
Yes.
What inspired that? Was you like at school like I like him, he's cute or something like
It's
that?
so crazy. It's so crazy because everybody asks me, even my friends are like, so what is Did It Again about? Who is it about? What's going on? I'm going to tell y'all the truth. There's no tea behind it. I wrote it because I feel like I needed a song that was going to relate to my audience, old or young, and that could also be a bop. You know what I mean? Be fun, be a summery song, real cool. So I wrote it thinking about what my friends would tell me or even just instances where I've walked past a boy, I was like, oh my gosh, like his outfit, his crew, his everything, like. But yeah, I would just say I just wanted to make something real fun and relatable. It wasn't about anybody in particular, but yeah.
Hey, well, it surely worked. I think
Oh,
Mr. Floyd is
here
back
it
here. He
is.
about to play a little bit of it.
Yes, my music video did it again. That's my YouTube channel. There's the video. I'm excited for y'all to see it.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, Cal Harris did this beat. Thinking about you. Yeah. Heart is racing again, yeah. Yeah. Got me smiling again, yeah. Yeah. Kinda hard to pretend I'm falling for you. I close my eyes and I'm dreaming about you. Don't know what to do, just thinking of you. You look so flat with your fit and your crew. Feeling high like the flu. Yeah, you number one over here on my list. Hoping I can get a chance to talk to you real quick. You get the first glance, you gon' see the girl lit. Last thing on your mind in the first in the morning. Tryna pursue, gotta act cool, but when. All right, that little snippet. Y'all, please go check out the Did It Again music video. The song is out, the video's out, and I also have a TikTok dance out to the song. So do that too as well. Mm-hmm.
Hey, it was definitely nice. I remember when you performed, you danced. When you was dancing, I was like with my lady, like, look at her. Because you don't really see that often with artists. They don't dance besides Chris Brown, of course.
Of course, the
And
main ones. But I
yeah,
definitely love incorporating dance because I've been dancing since I was like 3, 4 years old. So I love dancing, incorporating to everything I do, even acting, modeling. Like I hit a little move every now and then, but yeah, I love dancing.
okay.
Hey, I had a question. I heard that your grandmother is your manager, or she manages your career.
She's my
That,
grandma. She's right over here. Watch.
that's wonderful. That's wonderful. No, that's good. How you
Hello.
So hey,
doing,
so
Grandma?
watch what you're gonna say, R. Kelly.
What?
Go
How
ahead.
you
I'm
doing?
kidding. I'm kidding. All right.
Well, that's cool that your grandmother is managing you, and you
Yes.
got people there to protect you out in the music industry.
Did you
We
great?
wish you the best. We
Thank
wish
you
you
so
much
much.
success. The video looks professionally produced. Stay on track and keep doing what you're doing. I heard you was in commercials. That's beautiful. And thank you for joining the show. Any last words you want to say to the people out there?
Yes, I just want to say to any of the girls out there, be you, live it up. You are able to do anything in life if you put your mind to it. It don't matter how you look, how tall, how short, how dark, how light. You got this. Also, follow me on my Instagram at itslove_.official. It's the exact same on my TikTok, and my YouTube is down below. Please go check it out. Thank y'all so much.
All right, thank you for joining the show. Man, clap,
I
man,
did
clap.
it again. Yep. I did it again. Yep.
Oh,
Thank
uh-oh.
y'all.
Uh-oh, I'm locking myself out. Jesus, take the wheel. Oh, here we go.
Look out, R. Kelly.
There. All right, here we go.
Hey,
All right.
I just want to say, man, that sister is artistically mature for sure, man. Like the way her website, her social media is set up, man, I mean, that's a professional video, man. Her presentation, she's an artist. You can tell some of that Chuck, when she said St. Louis, Missouri, I was thinking Chuck Berry, some of the greats. Ike Turner. So that definitely rubbed off in her. So, yeah.
Yeah, she was definitely on point. Very, very high quality. I mean, you're right. When you think about what a lot of us may have started out, I mean, I understand the technology allows you to do some stuff, but yeah, it was on point. So Celeste, sister, great wishes to you on your career and just in life and everything. And, she seems like a very positive, powerful person. Stay at that, sister.
And come back anytime. Anytime when you got some new music or something, come back in and bring friends and bring back, because there was a lot of talent at that show. There was a lot of people that performed. But yeah, let's do it. I got the grandmother was there, the manager. You know what I'm saying? I got it there. I did everything professionally and correctly. You know how I rock on the Focus Up show. I bring the numbers, baby. Let's rock and
So
roll.
let
Move
me
over the show.
so let's move this on. Let's move this a little along because we got a bit of stuff to do. So the first thing let's talk about is let's talk about first of all R.I.P. Malcolm Jamal Warner. That's the brother who really is our peer that we grew up with. That's the show that might have affected us the most. We lost a bunch of celebrities, this week, but I definitely want to start off with this brother because Theo Huxtable is one of the great TV characters. The Cosby Show. I know the brother Cosby got himself into some trouble, but I'm able to separate the art from the artist, and I just salute his legacy and my condolences to his family. He seemed like an awesome, great human being. What you got to say about this, brother Walt?
Bill Cosby didn't get himself in trouble. It was a bunch of old ladies that made some bullshit accusations
I'm
with
talking
him.
about Malcolm.
I am too. I am too. But I had to correct that what you said, young man. So yeah. But Bill Cosby didn't get himself in no trouble. He's not guilty, baby. That's why he's a free man right now. But according to with Malcolm Jamal Warner, man, Malcolm Jamal Warner was a young black brother that we definitely could relate to at that age. He was cool. He was not like, oh, I'm non-binary, none of that book that. He was into girls. He was trying to flirt. I like that episode where he was trying to holler at one of Denise's friends. And you know what I'm saying? But that was a positive role model. We could look up to him because he reminded me of my brother that passed away, my brother Durock. It was like he was like into the girls trying to, you know what I'm saying? That's what we need, heterosexual men. That's what makes this planet go round and repopulate. Not no, oh yeah, he might be gay, maybe not. Nah. Salute to Malcolm Jamal Warner and a positive brother with his plays and his acting. Everything was pro-black. Yeah, he wasn't scared. Rest in peace,
Brother
my brother.
Afro agnostic, what you got to say about this? Or anything that Walk said.
One of the best things about Malcolm Jamal Warner is that he wasn't Cosby. He wasn't a creep. And, early on, I had mentioned that his involvement, understand, black back in the 85, 86, if he wasn't Run DMC, it's kind of hard to identify with the black community at that time. That's how much of a force they were. And he really advocated for them to be on the Cosby Show. That was my remembrance. He always seemed like an ally in hip hop back in the day. I couldn't even perform hip hop in the talent show. A lot of people don't know that. I couldn't, they didn't play it on daytime radio. So to see Theo advocating, and then when he had his Saturday morning video show, he brought them on anyway, in spite of Cosby. Because Cosby was on some respectable politics, and DMC and them didn't have shoelaces in their shoes. They wore the black stuff. That stuff that Cosby, he wasn't with that. So, and then early on he was an LGBT ally. With the HIV back when they were really stigmatized back in the day. So, he just always seemed positive, man. He never really he critiqued people and things, but he never was really came across negative, man. Just I think he also represented a different example of being a man. He was more on the gentle side, wasn't, bravado and all that stuff, but, he handled business, so, and then lastly, I would just say really quick is that he's named Malcolm by his father after Malcolm X. His dad went to Lincoln University only because Gil Scott-Heron and Brian Jackson went there. For those who don't know, Gil Scott-Heron, they were a part of the Black Arts Movement, which was the artistic side of the Black Power movement. So Malcolm Jamal Warner was raised by Gil Scott-Heron, that music, and that's, he's a musician as well, a bassist, and poet and all that. And like Doc said, he kept it black all the time.
Student X, you got something to say about Brother Malcolm?
Other than the fact that I love Theo Huxtable, and his representation, on the airwaves, and he'll be missed, for a lot of what you just heard from our brother Afro. So RIP to the brother.
Amen. El Pooh, you want to tie it up?
Yeah, to me, this man became a legend on the Cosby Show when he did that Ray Charles skit. And I just found out that he played the bass just the other day. Boy was talented. So rest in peace to the brother.
And speaking of bass playing, what's happening there, Mr. Mark Cram, Carbon 6? I know you played the guitar. I don't know exactly it's the bass, but shout out to you, brother. So and then we lost.
he added Gil Scott Heron on Supreme. That was in the note. Because y'all don't know, Gil Scott Heron, y'all got to, we almost lost Detroit. The revolution won't be televised. You know, that's Gil Scott. So,
the motto, he got a whole lot of stuff, bro.
Yeah, legendary. So that having been said, you know, we lost Malcolm Jamal. We lost another figure. I was going to say, we can talk about Chuck Mangione.
Look like we lost Mr. Nice Guy there. Yeah, so we lost Chuck Mangione. He was famous for this one song called "Feel So Good," which is a trumpet instrumental song. Not really, instrumental more or less. That's his most popular song. But he was a very influential jazz player, I guess. He was made a lot of appearances in I think it was a Family Guy, actually.
No, it was King of the Hill. King of the Hill. So he was a regular character playing himself on King of the Hill, the same way that Adam West played himself on Family Guy. So, you know, salute to his legacy, condolences to his family, and really the big musician that we lost, the more famous one, is Ozzy Osbourne. So,
Rest in peace to Ozzy Osbourne. Yeah, Black Sabbath, baby. Started out. Yes. Definite legend in the game. Icon. Influenced many bands. Many bands. Yo, this the rock him a rock and roll, baby. That's the rock him a rock and roll. Yes.
Hey, I wanted to chime in on Ozzy Osbourne. My introduction to Ozzy Osbourne was through the Detroit rapper named Esham. If you don't know who Esham is, go look him up. It was a great artist from back in the day. He did a song and he used some sampling from Ozzy Osbourne. I love that shit. I forget the song. I didn't know the song, but what was that song? Was it Black Sabbath or was it Ozzy Osbourne?
I gotta just say shout out to Esham, 7 Mile. You know, he used to be boss my boy. Osbourne High School, but yeah.
Oh man, yeah, that was my introduction to Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah.
And not to mention that classic Iron Man song. So, you know, that's a big one. I always think about Beavis and Butthead, but the bottom line is that laid the template for the MCU. So that's when he announced himself, "I am Iron Man." That's when they basically break out the Ozzy Osbourne Iron Man song. So, you know, that's what's up.
And we're not gonna talk about him biting off bats and birds' head. We're gonna leave that for everybody to discuss in the background.
Exactly. So that having been said, we got this other big name, somewhat of a controversial figure, not somewhat, absolutely controversial.
Hold on, nice guy. Listen up, brothers. All of my little Hulkamaniacs. That's all I got.
Hey, that was a good one right there. Yeah. Hey, man, we grew up on that stuff. I mean, these were big characters for us. You know, I always say that wrestling was basically soap operas for guys. You know, it was testosterone soap operas. And, you know, we had all those legendary characters, and he was one of them. I mean, he was definitely one of my favorites. Notwithstanding the great things that he did as far as being part of Rocky III, my absolute favorite Rocky. But you know what? Let's call it what it is. This dude fell off the deep end big. I know you got some video to play about this.
Yeah,
you have it queued up.
I didn't get to chop it up. So let me just play it, and y'all judge for yourselves. The audio is not that good. We'll just play it just to remind you, so you can judge for yourself. I'll play the whole audio and
read the words. Read the words.
Yeah.
Billionaire guy, Cecil. Basically did more for her a year than anybody's done. Okay, he had one song after 10 months to shoot it back up and back still and momentum, but I try to be the realist, and this is your option. You got a better option. Said you can get signed with fucking. Even for spot there, behind you go, but right now there's nothing else. We're doing the best we can here. So it gets to the point where I don't know if Brooke was fucking the black guy's son, or they've been hanging out. I caught them holding hands together on the tour. They were getting close to the time before I'm giving a fuck, okay? I'm not a double standard type guy. I'm a racist to a point. Yeah. You know, fucking there's, but then when it comes to nice people, you know, I mean,
we all are that way.
Yeah, but when it comes to nice people, you can't say, I don't give a standards of getting rich off. And the kid is a multi-billionaire. Right.
Hey, I think that was the main point right there. He said, if we're gonna F N words, let's a rich one. And that's why that's real quick. If you look at this is why I had to put at the bottom of my name X Hogan Maniac.
Brother Walk, you got the floor, brother.
Don't all white folks talk like that. Don't all non-blacks talk like that behind the scenes. Listen. I grew up a Hulkamaniac fan. Definitely. We see the host and we start doing this. He getting hit in the head with a chair or whatever, and he start doing that. He's invincible. All right. But we must understand he is a piece of shit human. And it just came out. A lot of these celebrities that we grew up in love, probably what my boy Alan Dick, we don't know. Everybody, I think all of them talk like this behind the scenes. But that don't excuse it. His name was tarnished, and guess who did it? His daughter. That's Elsa who was fucking a nigger. Yeah. But look, you know what I'm saying? You know what, Floyd? Remember that show we did? Our children important or something like that. She ruined his legacy. So yeah, that's what it is.
The show was called Are Children Really a Blessing? Go look it up.
Brother Hogan, who was fucking a nigger.
Brother Afro Ignatius, you got something to say about this?
Oh man, Terry. I just call. I mean, he was Terry Bollea. That's his name.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan is just a character, so I mean, he was, he's just a piece of shit. I mean, sometimes when you want to, you try to find things to honor people's lives. But I think, black people showed up and showed out. If you look on social media, I've seen memes with parties with his casket. Once you show us your hand, there's no reason for us, to honor you, to honor your legacy or anything like that. And also, if you watch that documentary of Vince McMahon, he was a union buster. You know what I'm saying? He looked out for himself. He wasn't a friend. He wasn't a colleague with his own WWF, right? So back in the day, he was in bed with the bosses, snitching on people.
Ouch. So, Student X, you got something to say about this?
Yeah. And so, I mean, what I got to say about it, honestly, is it reminds me. I don't even remember, exactly what the verse was, but I think it was in the Bible when it was like Jesus standing up. A question about a stoning. They said, "Let him who is without sin among you cast the first stone." It was something to that impact, right? So the thing is, with Hook, hell, if we're gonna burn every white person that's ever said nigga, and we're gonna burn every person that's ever said anything offensive about somebody, hell, we wouldn't have a humanity on the planet. Now, I'm not gonna sit there and promote the Hulk Hogan for what he said and did, but I grew up on racism after reading a book that my brother put out. His name is Keenan Booker, and the book it was called I'm trying to recall it off the top of my head right now, but it was something with dealing with the study of the white races or white people, the white races, not racist, but white races, from the early ADs, to the 1600s. It was called Kicked Out of Heaven, is what it was called, and essentially it just studied this time where we're looking at the period where you're dealing with the chains and the whole 9 yards. But this is when white people was ruling over white people, and white people treated each other just as worse, if not worse, than what we saw at any time during child slavery. At the end of the day, So going back to Hulk Hogan, man, the dude. It is what it is. I was a wrestling fan. I wasn't necessarily a Hulk Hogan fan per se. I like JYD, Rowdy Popper, Leaping Lenny. I forgot what the dude's name was.
Excuse my interruption, but we got brother Joseph Yusuf. I don't want a daughter effing a white man, but if she did, I want him to be rich. Yes, I would call him a Rock on.
Yeah, so we're gonna burn our brother too. You know what I mean? You know, so the thing is that
So
you know I'm not putting much. You know, stock. We call things racist. You know, too much. You know what I mean? Honestly,
he did issue an apology. Let's play his apology and give everybody an opportunity if they want to forgive the hoaxer. Let's play the apology that he put out there so y'all can hear it.
It's all about, and I know you've apologized for this, these remarks that people would say were racist, the use of the N-word in a private tape that were released. I know you've apologized for that. The repercussions of that, all those great honors, all what you've done for wrestling and wrestling's done for you, you're blacklisted by WWE and maybe very, very hurtful, removed from the Hall of Fame as well.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Where does that leave you? How do you feel?
Well, it leaves me with the people that love me and the people that are loyal to me and the people that have stuck with me all this time. It was probably the worst day of my life when I said that 8 years ago. I had bottomed out. I was having some problems with the marriage and financially and the kids, of course. And I was kind of mad at my daughter, and there was a weird situation where I said what I said. Never should have said it, even though it was in a private setting.
Listen, come here. Shut your stupid ass up.
Listen, hey man, let me just say this real quick. Mr. Brother Student X, I appreciate you giving your point and giving everybody an opportunity to practice their Christian or Muslim values, to forgive and forget and move forward. But damn, I was about to say something deep. Hey,
This is ridiculous.
okay. Hulkster, just for the record, Hulk Hogan, he was taken out of the Hall of Fame for a minute, then they put him back in, and then they put him back in the second time as a team with the New World Order. So don't feel sorry like he's not in the Hall of Fame. He's in the WWF Hall of Fame.
I don't, this is about, I don't see why we have to honor somebody. It's not about like being vindictive or angry. It's just like we're not, we Black people, we get to choose who we revere and who we don't revere. We don't revere everybody. The conservatives don't revere everybody. You got homophobes. They don't revere people that are LGBTQ. And when they die, they don't honor them for that reason. So everyone has those standards.
It's not about revering. It's about remembering, like when somebody say that their childhood is being attacked. Like when we was young, and you see the Hulkster, he come out to that ring, he give you this energy and make you feel like you could fight the whole world. That's part of your childhood. So when you grow up and then he does something to disappoint you, you be like, oh man, this motherfucker.
I'm saying Hulk Hogan was a character. I'm saying you can still like the character and admire him as an actor, no doubt. But I'm just saying, like, his memory of him, though, Terry Bollez, whatever his name is, I mean, that he will always be remembered, for his racist views, for his union, his not being in solidarity with his.
I don't see how you separate the two. I don't see how you saw it.
Hey, I'll tell you like this. I remember him as being a thief because he stole this whole persona from superstar Billy Graham, the 24-inch pythons and all that stuff. Everything.
Wow.
All that.
Wow. Good job, El Pooh. Thank you. What happened to the nice guy?
He had some problems.
He was like,
I think he was trying. He had to go in the morning for him, Hulk Hogan.
Damn. Okay. Let's move forward. Let's jump to real quick. I think he had the info as far as Brianna Taylor cop was sentenced. I think he got sentenced to like 30 months or something like that. But one of the cops who shot Brianna Taylor, and from what I understand, and I don't know how important it matters, but this isn't the one who actually shot the bullet that took our sister's life. But remember, Brianna Taylor, she was the one that they came to the wrong house, and her boyfriend or husband or whatever tried to protect the home, and so he had a gun, and they were shooting back and forth, and they ended up killing our sister in her hallway. Brianna Taylor, that was part of the Black Lives Matter outcry and all that stuff that happened during that time. So there's a modicum of justice served, I guess you could say. Anybody got that want to speak on it?
Yeah, I was want to highlight that a part of that was a racist policy, in the Black community with this no knock warrant. Like how you go not no, it's like 1 or 2 in the morning, man. People are still in a state of sleepiness anyway. That's just ridiculous. That's the same thing how Yana Jones got killed. They just came in without discretion. You see little kids' toys. You know what I'm saying? They could have had a sleepover or whatever. But anyway, to me, this whole thing symbolizes that it's a trip that a drywall can get more justice than a black woman. Because the guy that actually shot her, didn't get any time. And he got 33 months for, his negligence. And, they could have been kids anywhere. He shot 10 times. And you up in somebody's house with a no-knock warrant, 1 or 2 in the morning. That's just, for a non-violent offense. It makes no sense.
Yeah. This should have been prosecuted from the top down. I'm talking about for the people who initiated this no-knock warrant. That's who should have been prosecuted as well. They should have got some time as well. These officers, gun-ho, they coming in there ready to kill somebody. And then you got the wrong address. This ain't like DoorDash, like, oh, my neighbor got my damn, the Works Burger food over here. No, this is some serious crap to where this has to be accurate and precise, like the bombing of the Iranian nuclear facility. Salute to our soldiers.
I ain't gonna lie, I heard how you snuck that in. I don't agree.
Go ahead. Student next. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah. The no-knock warrants is some BS. There's no doubt about that. The broader impact of the whole situation, was ultimately Brianna's law was created, which banned the no-knock warrants in Louisville and mandated body cameras. Kentucky, started restricting no-knock warrants. I guess there is some positives, but at the end of the day, RIP to that sister. To this day, a terrible injustice.
Yes, sir. All right. I'm gonna jump to the commercials real quick because we got a lot to cover. So let's jump to our commercials real quick. Where's our flag commercials? Welcome back, student. Mr. Nice Guy. Listen up, brothers. If you want to get your trucking, call the Brea Trucking. East Coast to West Coast, West Coast to South Coast, North to South, South to West. Call them. You seen the number at the end. Oh, yeah. All of my little Hocomaniacs, call the Brea Trucking.
That's gobealive.org. Go get you some of that black honey.
Hey, you're supposed to do your Malcolm Jamal Warner impersonation.
or do my ultimate. Anyways, no, I'm not gonna do none of this stuff. Bottom line is, take yourself to the Petty Vice in Venice or to the Afro City Marketplace at the Crenshaw Mall. Sister Nidra, salute.
Rudy! Let's go to the Score Sports Bar and have a drink. It's a black-owned bar. They got great drinks, great food, great music, great people. They have a pool table in there. They play dominoes in there. Stop by 7123 Franklin Boulevard.
Turn up the dial, it's 10:30. Be back. Spin that back show, all the classics on track. From 79 to 99, we're crossing the gap. Album reviews, little known facts, hip hop intact. Saturday mornings, dive into the history. Samples and stories, old school mysteries.
We're going to be having K Solo, or we're going to be talking about K Solo on the Spin That Back show today here at 10:30, right after the Focus Up show. So please join us. Yes, sir.
All right. Let's get to it. We jumped. So we went from Brianna. Let's get into the broken glass everywhere. Our brother, Mr. William McNeil Jr., who is 22 years old, was assaulted by the Jacksonville PD. You got anything on that, Mr. Nice Guy?
I'm sure I do, but because of my internet situation, I got disconnected
Yeah.
from all of that stuff. But go ahead. I'm gonna let
Let's do the next.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just saying, in general, the analysis regarding that the brother just was at a parking stop. I think he made some poor choices. But ultimately, it was uncalled for the officer to punch him in the mouth. And rough him up. Like he did. I don't think there's any disagreement on that in that situation at all.
We have the video of it. Let me play a clip of it. Let me see which one we got here. Too many clips. Shit. Let's try this one.
Can you call your supervisor?
All right, go for it.
Exit the vehicle now. Exit the vehicle. Show me your hands.
Here.
The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office is under pressure after this routine traffic stop in February turned violent. The driver, William McNeil Jr., filmed the incident on his phone, which shows him getting punched and pulled from his car. He says he suffered a concussion, a chipped tooth, and needed 9 stitches after the altercation. But the sheriff's office says the video doesn't tell the whole story and released body cam footage to defend their actions.
Yes, sir.
Okay, hold on, but before you even say something, let me just say, I've seen many times where someone says, go get your supervisor. Guess what happens? They wait until a supervisor comes. I ain't never seen no one just decide to, when it comes to other races, where they decide, oh no, we just gonna bust the window, start punching people in the mouth. You are restraining something. If you're breaking the window, that's one thing, but you've reached there and grabbed somebody. You don't go punching anybody. That is absolutely ridiculous. Go ahead and say what you was about to say.
I can't use the whole video, brother.
No. All right. Well, here we go. Okay, no. Let me just say this before you go ahead and do the next, and you can elaborate on what you just said. Now,
I just
go. Let me say this real quick.
Okay, yes, sir.
You can't. There was no justification to smacking them, punching them, whatever you want to call it. That hand came after
Agreed.
that hand came across his face. There was no justification. I can't believe
No arguments about that.
People who actually saying, well, he should have just complied. I can't physically believe or understand what does that mean. Go ahead, student next. I want to hear your point.
Yeah, no.
Talk about the whole video.
Yeah, no. You're definitely not going to get me to disagree with the points you just made. The point I will make is that when you look at the whole video, first his window couldn't roll down, so he had the door open. He engaged the officers. It was telling them he was pretty confrontational and whatnot. And then they gave him a lawful order. And then he decided to get back in the car, close the door. And then that's when they approached the window. And then that's when you saw the video right there. So it was just more to it than just that. I mean, honestly, the way the brother was acting, I wanted to slap the shit out of him too. You know what I mean? But obviously you can't do that. That's not the right thing to do. You know what I mean? But the brother, look, I'm gonna give some legal advice here. You know what I mean? To anyone, that's wondering. And that is whenever you're getting a ticket, accept the ticket and contest the ticket in court, not on the street with the officer. All right, I mean, this should be basic one-on-one by now. You know what I mean? But it was just absolutely ridiculous. If he handled that situation differently, none of that happens in that matter. And then just keep in mind that there's a reason he act like that, because there was marijuana, I think an open container, there's some other things going on, there inside his car, but the brother made some poor decisions all the way around, but that does not excuse the one officer, that came in, punched him in the mouth, that is not professional, police conduct at all, so there's no disagreement in that.
Brother Walk.
I would like to respond.
Before you go, Walk, I just want to say real quick, that's one of the reasons. Him watching that video made me realize one of the reasons I never want to grow my hair long and drag it out. The officer had his hair like this, pushing his face to the ground. I hate when people grab people by the hair like that. Go ahead, Walk. My bad. I just had to express that.
I'm gonna give pushback on my brother, Mr. Student Next. what you basically are explaining is the black folks rules. Well, we know what we shouldn't do or say or behave when we deal with officers. When I get pulled over by officers, I stick both hands out the window like this till they tell me put them back in because I know it's a possibility I could get shot right away for no damn reason. So that is our rules. Now, if he was Caucasian, he can talk as much. You know, we heard a lot of comedians say, "What the fuck you pull me over for, buddy?" Like, God damn, and anything. But you know what I'm saying? That's the only pushback I want to give. But you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Just a rebuttal. Like that horn, great. You know, I'm excited about the horn, but look, you know, my rebuttal to that would be that there is if you want to call it a black rule, that's fine, but I call it the respect rule, you know, to a law enforcement who at any time, you know, could lose their life and have lost their life, you know, in the line of duty. You know, I call it the being big, gigantic, you know, tall guy rule, you know, who might be dealing with a smaller officer or whatnot. I mean, we're just talking about common sense, you know, at the end of the day, you know, especially, you know, since we have seen, you know, when people act in a certain way, it doesn't, you know, it doesn't increase the likelihood of a friendly altercation.
Hey, real quick, I just want to say, let me just say this. Walk said that when the cop comes, he sticks his hand out the window. I take it a step further. I keep a pair of handcuffs in my car. When they come, I'm like this. I'm handcuffed already.
Brother Afro-agnostic, what's going on?
Some comedian must have said that one. That was too good. That was too good.
That's an original.
Okay. Well, you know, we authored the report every 28 hours. We noted that a black man, woman, or child is killed by police, a white vigilante, or white security guard every 28 hours. So, you know, and you know, it's this young man was practicing a little civil disobedience. You know, he was maybe being passive resistance, but that's within his civil rights. He can do that. He can face legal consequences of doing that. You know, white people do it all the time. Again, this is a matter. And teenagers are going to be we're older men. We're talking about how, because we've been through that. You know what I'm saying? But younger people are going to react a little different, and it's not on us. You keep pointing the finger. I hear student X pointing the finger at us. It's something that we need to do or not do. No, it's something that the police need to do and not do. They get resources. They get training. They get resources. These men all of them look to be way older than young men there, you know, 30s, 40s. You're supposed to be the mature one. Me as a teacher, I can't go off on my students or violate their civil rights because they don't comply. There's protocol. There's things that I must follow. And as an officer of the law, that is your duty, you know. But anyway, I just want to say this is like classic Driving While Black, you know, the reports that they came out with, because this happened in February, contradict the video, which has just come out now. So they're lying. This is typical. You know, they just got caught on camera brutalizing the black man. This is an example of police control, not protect, just control. And that's why we must police.
Infamous El Poo.
Man, listen, just take the ticket, because you know what will happen. This is not the first time. It's not going to be the last time. So just go ahead and just take the ticket, take the little L, because it could have been worse. You know, he could have got smoked. That's just how I feel about it. So just be careful out there.
And these are survival guidelines. Again, these are just survival guidelines. So I would say that, look, it's in your best interest to do this, but to me, none of this is really the issue as far as what they should or shouldn't have done. So that's why that should probably cover everything that you're really thinking about saying. Am I correct? Am I wrong, Mr.
You're correct. You're absolutely correct. You're correct.
All right.
Well, wait, hold up. Let me come back real quick. You know, because I got a new name. No longer the minister of information. We're gonna go with the king of accountability, because that statistic that the brother pointed out. That we're losing black people. Every 28 plus minutes. Could it be because they're not getting
hours? You said minutes. He said hours. You said minutes.
28 hours. I'm sorry, every 28 hours. You know what I mean? Okay, that's better. I was thinking, that is pretty high. But
it's still like 28
hours. But could it be the reason why is that our leaders of these young men and young women aren't promoting the proper strategies and ways to interact with people in general, but in particular those in authority. Accountability, is what we're talking about. When we're looking at, there's something that we do have to do, and we have to, the time dictates agenda, the minister used to always say, and looking at the circumstances and the time, I don't recommend acting like, some juvenile, a white child that feels privileged and entitled to the world when dealing with a law enforcement, whether you're black or white or whatever else. We have to adopt tactics that's going to bring the people home safely, and then we can still hold people accountable, but they are, because today, people are able to get sued, and it's costing cities a lot of money. Today's with
this type of non-cooperation with the police. Are you more likely to get away with it and not lose your life if you're white than if you're black? Yes or no?
For sure, I would say if you're more likely.
And that's the problem. Can we get police like white people? Can we get equal?
I'm not arguing that it's not a problem. I'm not arguing that it's not
equal protection under the law.
No, you can't, because that'll be DEI.
That's called racism. That's what I'm saying. That's the issue.
So yes, I think we fully fleshed this out. We agree with doing what you're going to do.
Paying the same money, the same tax money as white people.
Amen, brother. So we're running short on time, so let's pivot to the next thing. Let's do it real quick. I think we're going to talk about, since me and infamous El Pooh probably the only person that saw the South Park episode, we're just going to say, check it out. You saw it? Oh, yeah. Okay. So the bottom line is, man, spoiler alert. They eviscerated Donald Trump, and Donald Trump responded. He wasn't going to let that slide. And honestly, the things that they did, you just have to see. I want go ahead.
We do have a clip.
You got a clip? You want to play?
Got a clip, yeah.
Another random bitch commented on my Instagram that you're on the Epstein list.
The Epstein list? Are we still talking about that?
So we got the Saddam Hussein treatment, but yes, no, you just, there's some things that happened in this. Brother Alfred, what did you think about that episode?
I don't know. This is my first time watching the South Park, so I didn't know what to expect. I didn't really. I'm definitely I'm just on it because it was anti-Trump, but I didn't really get a lot. I'm glad there's some exposure there that they tried the Epstein files, and just kind of painting him in a certain negative way, which I think is good.
There was a lot of exposure. There was a lot of exposure.
Yeah. So, I don't know what to think about it, man. It was weird. That obsession with his penis, that just threw me off, too. So
pause. That was pause. El Pooh, what'd you think about that?
Man, they crazy. They drawing the line right there. They gonna get in some trouble. One of them gonna come up suicidal or something.
Yeah, just check it out. I think that's all we need to say about that. So what do we got up next? Is that you want to talk about the Dr. Dre in DJ Quick thing right quick, brother? Yeah, Floyd X, go ahead.
I want to tell you real quick. Somebody tweeted. They said that DJ Quick is everything that people think Dr. Dre is.
Yeah, DJ Quick is actually who everyone thinks Dr. Dre is.
Yeah, okay. And then DJ Quick came in and said, "About time somebody said it."
Had the balls to say it.
Had the balls to say it. So let's go to El Pooh. Let's go to El Pooh, the master, the super producer. What's your opinion, Mr. El Pooh?
I had the balls to say it a long time ago because it's true. I mean, Quick is everything that Dre should be. Well, everything that Dre is and more, actually. Let's say it like that.
And, go ahead, Brother Walt. Oh, sorry, I thought you were finished. Go ahead. Sorry, continue on.
No. Hey, you just look at the track record. He can put out records. Dre, Tupac was right. It does take Dre 3 years to make an album.
3 years for a fucking beat.
Whatever the case. But Quick been putting out that product, and everything's been quality. All his stuff been quality every time.
Whatever happened to Helter Skelter? Whatever happened with Busta Rhymes and Dr. Dre? Whatever happened to Rakim? Rakim was like, I'm in the studio, we trying to make music, but it's like, yo, gotta move on. Listen, we did a show on Spin That Back about this very topic with DJ Quick. I always said I feel DJ Quick is a better producer. No shots to Drake. No besmirching or his legacy. He is definitely an icon, and he influenced DJ Quick. But come on, man, DJ Quick is that guy, bro. Period. Salute to DJ Quick.
Yeah, something else I want to say too. We talking about K Solo today. You know, he went over there to Death Row, and he was supposed to have been one of the artists on Death Row East. What happened to K Solo and DJ and Dr. Dre, because they was working together.
Yeah, we'll
And
address
if
that
y'all
on Spin That Back.
listen to that last album, if they just put an album out, Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre. Have you heard anything about it? Like it's kind of
Yeah, it's
trash,
called
to be honest.
Missionary, but we like Doggy Style better.
Yeah.
Listen, I agree with y'all to a point, but I'm gonna say this: Dr. Dre is far bigger, and he should be, than DJ Quick. DJ Quick is a great producer, but he's nowhere near Dr. Dre's level, in my humble opinion.
Fix your
Yeah,
stream, somebody.
Yeah. What you're saying is that the commercial success, and I think there's no argument there. You know, Dr.
Nothing
Dre,
commercial.
global superstar, mainstream dominance, Beats by Dre, Aftermath, Death Row, hip hop pioneer. You know what I mean? DJ Quick, look, witty, skilled, original, cult following, right? Regional success. At best, a niche West Coast legend, you know what I mean? In terms of notoriety and known, recognition, But I see what you guys saying. You guys are from LA. Maybe you're saying that he's just better overall in terms of his skill set, but in terms of success, there's no argument that Dr. Dre is, on the level that DJ Quick is not.
I think I love every single thing that he just said. I'm not saying I agree with it, but everything you said was right on point. Go ahead. What you about to say? I'm gonna pass
Beyond success, the ability to build empires, and anything he touched becomes one of the greatest.
Not
Everything
really.
that he
Not
had his
that
hands.
last album.
Listen, Ruthless Records, Dr. Dre, the man behind the music. Death Row, Dr. Dre, the man behind the music. Aftermath, whatever.
Exactly. I was about to say Aftermath was a crash.
Past that.
It was a crash.
He continued to do great things.
He
brought Eminem. He brought Eminem, and everything he touched, he deserved, he worked for, and he earned. Whether it's bringing in other great producers to produce, and you just signed your name, whatever, or do whatever. He did great shit. Why would we even compare him to DJ Quick?
I would like to hear what the non. Go ahead.
I was getting ready to say this because DJ Quick does a whole lot more than what Dre does. Dre does a whole lot of stuff. Like he's been known for taking credit for other people's productions, like Daz, for instance, the Doggy Style, not the Doggy Style album, but the Dog Food album. Daz did most of that. Dre took all the credit. He had Mailman, he had Hitman, and he had Sam Snead.
Man.
All those other producers. Where is all of Dr. Dre's artists that he brought up? Where are the only one that's still standing is Sugar Free?
Hey, what is the non-regional?
Well, you work with a whole lot of artists too.
Yeah,
where are they?
R&B. Wait. Before we do that, what is the non-regional, the non-West Coast regional? I mean, you spent some time on the West Coast, but Alpha Agnostic, what do you think about this conversation?
Oh, when I first saw this in my feed, I was like, wow, ludicrous. Like this is not even a comparison. Like it's a landslide difference. Like, but then after hearing Walt and Pooh, I got some more perspective on it. I didn't take some things in consideration. Like, wow, okay, but I think that for me, it's a thing of quality over quantity. Like when I look at some of the qualitative hits of Dre, and not looking at just the chart success, but how they resonate with the charts are not equal to the respect of the people. Like how do people respect and respond to Dre and his music and his the songs that he has, he's associated with in comparison to Quick. That's what I don't know.
Hey, I would say like this. I think about it like a WWE a big brawl type situation. You take Dre's roster and you take Quick's roster. Dre's roster stomps it. I mean, if you talk about his discography, I'm just sorry.
There's no argument there. There's no argument. Look, if you value raw talent and versatility, DJ Quick's your guy, but that mainstream impact and the polish and the resume, it's clearly Dre.
Hey,
Straight signing your co-signing you was automatic star.
Hey, great.
Kendrick Lamar, DOC, Exhibit, Game, Anderson .Paak.
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
Not so much with DJ Quick, respectfully.
All right, so let's
Free, Mossberg, AMG, second to none, corrupt, problem.
Ouch.
All right, let's go to because that's a bigger topic. Let's do can a woman protect a man? Let's Jaywalk. You got the floor.
Well, hey, I was watching a podcast and they was talking somewhat of this subject where women was like talking like she could do anything a man could do, and she said I could protect a man, and that just clicked in my head. I don't see no way, shape, or form a woman can protect me in any way, shape, or form of light whatsoever. Because you know why? For one, that is not your job, woman, to protect a man. And for you to even feel that way, that shows that there's an imbalance somewhere in the brain, the psyche of the modern day women. That's what brought this topic about. I don't feel there's no way a woman can protect a man.
Well, I don't think that. I think
the floor is yours.
I think it's very patriarchal and sexist for a man to decide what a woman's job is. Like that's not your job. What's her job? When you think it is, it's the kitchen and the bedroom. I think that this is not even an opinion-based argument or conversation, because the fact is that women do protect men in the IDF, in the Israeli military. Women have high rank. They train the men oftentimes, and they engage in combat. So they have the higher rank officers that train combatants are women in the IDF. So they're actively doing that. So it's just contradicted by the facts.
Harriet Tubman protected men. So hey, go ahead. What you got to say, Student X?
Yeah, bro. So in the context of if a man is in his proper form, in terms of strength, if he's in his form, to where he's using his, he has control of his emotions, then there's not a lot of help that he's going to need inside that department,
6'5", 250.
It's just not, but in terms of, if you are making decisions for the households, having that balance, and feminine perspective, that's needed, and that can absolutely, there's protection there and value and that, and all that, but, we're talking about physical protection, sure, in combat, if you need your woman, she know how to shoot, sure, she could fan off, the brother brought the Israelis, training people and whatnot, one of their famous snipers that was up on the internet just got taken care of, so I want to just throw a shout out to the Palestinian people and say free Palestine before the show ends.
Damn.
Hey,
real quick,
we're gonna cover that topic. We're gonna cover it. We're gonna a little bit over.
Brother Big Cuz said this conversation only comes up in a black household. Is that true?
I don't
believe that's true. It's a man thing. It's a gender thing.
Let me get my.
I thought we blocked Big Cuz already.
Let me get my opinion on it, and I'm telling a quick personal situation. I was walking in a club with this beautiful lady, holding my hand, felt like I had cornrows at the time, had my shades on, I was in shape, and I had a gun in the small of my back like I was Malcolm X. We walk into this club, I'm holding her hand, feeling all cool with my big brother, who was popular in New Orleans. This happened in New Orleans. I walk in the club, we sit down, we had a good time. I felt like I was the man. And then I get to the house, and then my girl was like, man, that was crazy, because she was visiting New Orleans. And she said that some dude grabbed her hand like trying to get attention. And she didn't tell me. I was pissed off that she didn't tell me. But if she would have told me, something would have happened bad, either on my end or his end. It could have went either way. Not saying I'm Superman, but I had a gun on me. It could have went bad. She protected everybody. She protected two men that night.
I agree with you.
Oh, he agrees. I don't got nothing to say. You can skip my part there.
I stand corrected. She did protect you.
That's
so
why
from getting a life sentence.
That's why I married her.
Amen.
Right.
Amen. So you, in closing, you want to put a ball on this, Elpo, or you want to get directly to our last topic?
Can a woman protect a man? If she looks like this, I guess she could.
Ouch.
Damn. All right. That's all right. Thank y'all for watching the show. Wait. No.
Let's not close this up. We promised that we were going to talk about this. Let's talk about this. So we're going to go in a little bit of overtime. Who was treated worser? Oh, he done left, and I use this joke, man. Anyways, Palestinians. Well, he's not. I don't see him there. Palestinians of today or black chattel slavery. Student X brought this up, so you got the floor, brother. Go ahead and say what you want to say.
Yeah, no, it came to my mind mainly because, as bad as this Palestinian treatment, that's going on and the optics is that it doesn't even compare, to a chattel slavery, here in South America. For one, you look at the 200 years, millions of people, impacted, and then the various treatments. So it's not even close, so that was the only reason I had brought it up, because, you see a lot of people now really, are not appreciating, Israel, and their representation in this world. And we forget that just how bad American child slavery is sometimes. Not we, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, Alpha Ignatius, you got something to say about this?
I would say thank God for abolitionists, but all I can say really is thank abolitionists for abolitionists. Because without an abolitionist movement, you wouldn't have the outlawing of slavery, of chattel slavery, throughout the Americas and throughout the globe. Slavery, all the holy books, as quote unquote holy as they are, they condemn slavery, actually condone it, and actually, give instructions for how you facilitate it correctly, But slavery is open. I think that's the lowest state of humanity, chattel slavery. You don't get any lower than that. There's there's no room for it to be treated any worse than that. So it's no, without a doubt, chattel slavery is worse than the apartheid and displacement and the colonialism in Palestine.
What do you think about extermination? I mean, do you think that extermination? You think that's still lower than just outright extermination?
Well, when you use the term extermination in international law, it's called genocide. And in the original breakdown of genocide has been modified, but still some pieces of it are still there. Genocide is not just eliminating the people; it's doing the things that lead to the elimination of the people. So it's a large, all-encompassing terms. I don't know. You can see bits of chattel slavery is an example of genocide. So it's kind of hard, you comparing genocide to one genocide. It's all genocidal.
Well, now I would say it is different, man, because this is what I struggle with, is the fact that the Palestinian people, Israel is trying to wipe them out entirely and displace them and move them out the way altogether. But with child slavery, although there was still massive suffering, and extreme, indignity, that was deployed on us, the one thing that was important to them was they had to keep reproducing us and allowing us to reproduce. Because that was money. It's chattel.
No, but what I'm trying to say is that the definition that genocide is elimination of a people is a simplified definition. It's more elaborate in international law. It can be the elimination of a people's culture is also considered genocide. So I'm saying it's a complex definition and application of it. And that's the point that I think his name was Larkin that he was trying to make. Like, you can't put this into the actual elimination of the people is the last step. That's the last substance.
I definitely appreciate your clarification of that definition. And when Student X proposes, I just assumed that you were going to argue a different position, and I thought the only way that I could think that he could go is just the fact that as terrible as we were treated during the black chattel slavery and Jim Crow and all of this stuff, we were still of some type of use. We were still of some type of value, as opposed to people that just literally want to wipe you out of the planet. I just was curious as what you actually think is worse. Because when you talk about like the Holocaust, and by no means am I saying that the Holocaust was worse than what happened to us. I mean, for many reasons, I'm saying that those people, they were just like trying to wipe them out completely. They were just gassing them. They weren't just, just keeping you as servants and stuff like that. They were trying to take you off the planet. So, that was kind of the questioning that I was coming from.
What you got to say to El Poo?
Epstein.
Epstein.
Yeah. I want to talk about.
Yeah, I want to talk about that too, but I don't think we got time. But.
You know what? We can do a little quick. Go ahead, because we know El Poo, we're gonna prepare for K Solo. I maybe should make you come on just because I don't know how much you know about K Solo for pushing us into overtime. But go ahead. What would you like to say about Epstein Alpha Agnostics?
Damn, gotta go. I
see your ass for see, like I called his bluff on it.
I mean, this is. I mean, it definitely feels and it smells. It's a cover up, man. I mean, with the Congress stopping the they didn't even want to do the financial disclosure of Epstein. They blocked it. The rulings in the Republican committee led committees, and the what's his name, the leader of the House, Michael Johnson or whatever, shutting down the whole Congress until September.
How do they get away with this shit? How do they get away with it? How do they get away with shutting down the whole Congress?
To let Trump buy time to get with Maxwell and get the narrative straight so that her statements can contradict whatever information that they disclose in September. It's just
throw out pardoning out there. We're just putting it out there in the ether.
Just throw it out there.
Right before we have our fact finding discussion. Really
if she gets a pardon, nothing's going to happen. Nobody's going to do nothing to Trump. He has established that I could do shit, get away with it. Nobody's going to do nothing.
Man, let me explain something to y'all real quick. And
lost about doing that though.
So, brother Yusuf, he gave me a real interesting point, and that was that before this, when this Epstein thing was going on, liberals really didn't care too much about it. Only, that they heard Trump, had some type of link to him, but most people knew that it wasn't really, that significant, as what was assumed. So liberals wasn't interested in this at all. It wasn't until more recently when people have been saying that Trump is more intricately involved in this, that now everybody wants to see this out. And so I think in Trump's defense, if he is this a 4D, 5D chess player, and double agent, which I can understand that point of view. If I'm saying that, because the thing is that what people, the whole point is that if Trump is going after the deep state, you're not just walking into office and flipping some switches and everything changes. Are you kidding me? The way the Zion interests have control over this country, the reason why Epstein, is being so protected is because of his CIA and Mossad ties. Everyone knows that, this guy his role as a financial bounty hunter, his links to the BCCI, the Bank of Credit and Commerce International, known for their sex trafficking and CIA ties, the different powerful connections he has links to, from Bill Clinton, Leslie Wexner, Donald Trump, and others, the financial crimes he was involved with.
Let me ask you this, do the next. Do you believe he killed himself or he was murdered?
No, man, he's alive and well. What are you talking about? He's alive and well.
Epstein. He's talking about Epstein.
Epstein. Alive.
Epstein is alive and well.
Alive and well. Mossad agent? But they gave this kind of new, but they do this for their own.
No. Hold on.
They mess with little children, and they bring it back to Israel, give them a whole new ID.
Why do you think MAGA is resistant to disclosing?
So now, so when you're saying MAGA, let's be precise.
I think Trump and his political allies are preventing the disclosure of it.
Because the Zionists have control over this country. They are the deep state, them along with the neocons, the pro-war individuals. We've been knowing about the Epstein list. It's nothing new. In terms of all that.
It's nothing new. It's nothing new. It's nothing new. We know all that. Well, hold on.
Hiding the Zionists that control the world by not releasing the Epstein.
Didn't Trump run on this?
We didn't say the world. I said America. And so anyone that
the United States is ran by.
If you think it's foreign that the Zionist interests and neocons and pro-war people don't run America and they are the deep state. If you don't understand that, then I don't even know what to tell you. We can't even have a legitimate conversation.
No, I don't even know. Hold on. First of all,
let El Pooh say something real quick. Go ahead, El Pooh. Go ahead.
Didn't they say that they were going to release these files? Didn't they do all this?
They did say that. They absolutely did say that. So what happened? So what happened? So what happened when Trump came into office? What made him reverse from what he's doing? There's only two schools of thought. Either A, he is a double agent, setting the stage. He's not even a year in his presidency yet. Not even a year in. So either he's that, or he's then the powers that be are so powerful that they have made him capitulated through maybe threats. Who knows?
Why is that the only? Why is those?
Now the liberals out there and those that lean left, they're more interested in this Epstein situation more than ever now. I can tell you that.
Let me ask this question real quick. So, do Trump know that Epstein is still alive, Student X?
So now again, what I'm saying is more, obviously conjecture. And I don't have any proof to say Epstein is alive, per se. But like I said, these is just my feelings, inclination. But for certain, at the end of the day, Trump knows Epstein, knows of him as well as.
I think the problem with some of these conspiracy theories is that you go to these very unattached explanations, and then you kind of center on these can only be the two possibilities. I think the most obvious. What do you call it? Occam's rule. Sometimes the simplest explanation. We know.
I was gonna go there.
Yeah, what Trump said. He said, "I like young women. He likes young women. We like to party with young women. He does. We're friends." They both have expressed that to each other in different ways, and I think it's just he's a part of the whole scandal. It's just as simple as that. He's covering it up. What reason? You think because of some deep state Zionist support? And it's just he's a part of this whole sex.
I'm saying I do not know, but what I'm saying is I acknowledge that there are some possibilities here. At the end of the day, I acknowledge that. And
I'm glad you said that.
Which is more plausible?
Yeah. So and there's three. To me, there's three pathways here in this situation. Either A, he was one of them all along. Right, he was lying to the people, deceived them. That's one explanation. The other explanation is he had every focus and intent on making the changes that he wanted to do in certain areas, but he's not being allowed. And then the third is that he is a double agent, if you will, and is a maneuvering, setting the stage so he can separate the Zionist, neocon, pro-war, deep state, interest, and detach it from America.
Go ahead, nice guy.
Because Brother Youssef, let me just give a shout out to you, brother, because I saw you make this post, and he's like, why are liberals are so worked up about this stuff now? They didn't care about it before and all this stuff, and I felt like, look, again, I'm not speaking for them. I'm just reading the tea leaves that are pretty obvious. And the simplest explanation is that you ran on this. You made this a big conspiracy. You were saying that all of these people that were in it, you're talking about all these people that were going to get caught up in it. So that's the thing about it. The liberals are basically saying, well, you talked all this QAnon conspiracy talk, the pedophile ring and all this other stuff. So, okay, now let's show us what's up. Now we have a lot of evidence that you're indicted in all of this stuff. So now it's just like, we'll go ahead and speak on it. Literally, when he was talking about releasing that stuff, when you ask him about Malcolm X or Martin Luther King, whatever, he's like, oh yeah, I released that. What about the Epstein? He goes, well, I don't know about, because I don't want to hurt anybody with any false stuff that might be in there. I mean, that's just saying it all. You know what I'm saying? So it's really simple. It's really simple.
Nah, wait. Hey, we got
let's go out to Obama treason. Obama treason.
Look, somebody challenging real quick. Somebody is challenging student X. I would like for you to address it. Big Cuz, this is Big Cuz. He says, you can go from Epstein is alive to I don't know. Conspiracy theory talk is never supported by anything in a nutshell. It's just talk. What do you have to say to that, student X?
Like I said, that's easy. My own personal thoughts and belief is I believe he's alive. But now I'm not submitting that, to any other place than a court of public opinion, what I mean? And that's it. That's all on that subject. But the facts are what they are, and the facts are that Jeffrey Epstein, was a CIA and Mossad asset, that he absolutely was connected to organized crime and dealing with various money and interests that they had. And he absolutely was connected to very powerful people, and then we know about some of these other connections with blackmail and the sexual stuff and everything else that's going on, what I mean? But I am not, a member of the intelligence community, if you will.
I have a question for you.
And whatnot, so let's keep it real,
I got a question for you. Is that Twit in charge of the FBI, Pam Bondi and Bongino in on the conspiracy that what's the name is still alive?
Yeah, so I would say that in general, that any so-called conspiracy that's going on right now inside the White House, that Trump picked sycophants mostly to be around him, and so you would think that there are that at the very least that they know something and they're doing someone's bidding, if that's what it is. But no one can say it's a conspiracy theory, for people on the flip side of the coin to make the accusations that they're making. We don't know, what I mean. But we could go ahead and make our own assertions, look at the facts and evidence that we have, we give credit to.
Go ahead, nice guy. What you got to say?
He could literally just produce a list and just make up what he wants to say. He's in power. He could literally just create exactly the narrative that he wants and distribute it and say, here's everything you want. How come that doesn't happen? I mean, you guys talk about all of this incredible stuff. It's like
good point, nice guy. That's a good point.
I'm just saying. It's just sometimes
I'm not sure I understood the point. Someone can make a list.
Trump is in charge. He could do what he wants.
No, but that's BS. Everyone knows that the president of the United States of America, no matter who he is, can't just do what he wants. They're not king, queens, what I mean, and all that, bro. That's not.
Who right now is going against Trump on his side? Who is going against Trump full-fledged, like, you're wrong for this? Nobody.
What do you mean? But that's not true. You're talking about he's lost support from the MAGA base over this. What are you talking about? Not only that,
the regular people, but who in power is going against Trump to say you can't do that? Who in power?
Those who are closest to him, he has more solidarity. The solidarity is stronger. As you deviate from him, it starts to fall apart. But the Congress is a good example.
Nobody in power is going against them.
Following the order, yeah. Even the judicial system.
What are you saying, power? So I mean, what when we say power, are you saying other politicians?
I'm saying a politician, any politician. Because listen, if Johnson could shut down the whole thing, so we don't have to vote on shit, who else is there to stand up and be like, "Hey, this is some foul shit. We got to address it, Trump." What Republican, what MAGA, whatever you want to call him, a MAGA supporter, whatever you want to label it, who at the top is going against Trump today?
Thomas Massey.
Who the hell is that?
Thomas Massey. He's a senator, over there, and I want to say he's a Kentucky. I want to say he's in, Kentucky.
Republican senator, right?
Yep.
And what is he done?
And he is the one right now that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
He is a senator that takes no AIPAC money at all, and then also wants Israel to be registered as a foreign lobby. This is Thomas Massey. He opposes, and there are others, who not many, but there are some others that kind of fall, in
Marjorie
that vein right
Marjorie Green Taylor has been very adamant about.
She's very vocal.
Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, but I'm saying no
doubt. No,
nobody empowered. Nobody empowered. That's what you were saying. So that's 100%.
The whole point is we're talking about Trump, and Trump feels just like this.
I will burn the country to the ground to save my own ass. Believe me. I agree with that. That's real.
And that little scribble right there, that's vaginal hair. So yeah. So
from that letter he wrote to Epstein.
Yeah. Go ahead. Contrast the letter that Bill Clinton wrote. That was a classy whatever letter to the letter that Trump wrote. That he with his drawing and everything. So I'm just saying that it speaks volumes. But that having said, please come back in 10 minutes to check out Spin That Back. We're gonna be talking about K Solo because your mom's in my business. But yeah, anyway, so that's what's up.
We out.